Unlike Shepard's special edition hardtop, this luxury commander had all the bells and whistles. It comfortably fit 6 adults, and the center row had a small child seat in the middle. Wyatt and Claude rode in the Porsche ahead of us. "You should have brought Hunter along." Jem pressed her cheek against the glass as she gaped at the icicle lights hanging from the trees. Shepard steered the Jeep toward the valets.
"These parties aren't for kids, especially censors. Remember what happened at Patrick Bain's party?"
A cold chill swept over me when I remembered Hunter flying over the railing. I wondered if he'd remember all that when he grew up, and if parties would trigger him. It had taken him time to get comfortable not wearing a mask around us to cover his scars, and he still shied away from people in public. No, a party like this was no place for a kid. Christian gave a throaty chuckle.
"You know who we should have invited."
He peered over his shoulder at me.
"Your da."
"He doesn't go anywhere without Harley, and he would have put reindeer antlers on that mutt." I looked back at Victor. "Is Lenore a dog person?" Shepard barked out a laugh, and it dawned on me why. "Sorry," I said, wanting to smack myself in the head. "I didn't mean it like that." The wolf in the back seat blushed. When we pulled up to the mansion, Wyatt and Claude were waiting. Claude looked ready to disco in his white suit and silver tie. In addition to his tall stature, his large, messy curls made women melt. Claude hid his piercing gaze behind a silver mask, which only drew attention to his sensual mouth. If the breed world had models, Claude Valentine would be a superstar. Women in stunning dresses tipped their heads at Claude as they walked past him. One lady in particular caught my attention. She dressed and walked like royalty. "Look at the crown on her head." I stared at the jewels between each spike. Their dates wore top hats and white tailcoats. "Those are real," Blue said. I snorted. "They look fake to me." "I meant the jewels, not her disproportionately large breasts. People like to break out the expensive stuff at these parties, since they can't wear them anywhere else." Wyatt, dressed like Santa's elf, did a curtsy.
"Wyatt will regret this,"
Victor grumbled.
"I warned him not to wear that absurd costume."
Victor finished his complaint in Russian with what sounded like a string of profanities. I chuckled at Wyatt's striped stockings and green suit. "Sorry, I can't help it."
"Must he always embarrass me?"
Victor unlatched his seatbelt. Blue replied, "In his defense, the invitation said a winter ball. It didn't specify the dress code. The younger immortals associate winter with Christmas."
"He looks like an imbecile, and he is over 200, old enough to know better."
Wyatt's curled elf shoes fell out of view as our Jeep rolled up to the curb.
"I'll be a few minutes,"
Shepard informed us.
"I don't want any of these knuckleheads parking the Jeep. My name's all over the paperwork."
Victor shifted in his seat.
"Please do your best not to cause a scene."
A man opened Jem's door and another opened mine. After they helped us out of the vehicle, we assembled on the walkway. I took a minute to admire Blue's ensemble. She had stopped hiding her scars around us in recent months. On jobs, she covered them to blend in with the crowd. At home, she returned to her usual attire, tank tops and cargo pants. But for tonight, she had purchased a conservative sapphire blue dress that covered every inch of her body. The material had delicate silver snowflake accents stitched around the torso, arms, and bottom hem, though her blue cloak covered most of it. Claude had sprayed glitter in her French braid until it sparkled. Jem simpered when a passerby did a full turn to look at her dress. I tucked my hands in my red leather jacket and strutted to the front of the vehicle.
"Let's get this party started,"
Wyatt said, adjusting his elf hat. I gestured to his red and white stockings. "You're not the least bit embarrassed?" He patted his pockets.
"These broads are looking for a little hanky-panky. Do you think they care what I have on? You touch my steering wheel one more time and I'm gonna chop off your fucking hand."
Shepard growled at the valet. I took Christian's arm. "Let's find the booze." "I wish Nico were here." Jem pouted as we stepped onto the sidewalk. Wyatt skipped ahead of us.
"Nico always hides in corners and separates himself from the action. Trust me, he wanted to babysit Hunter."
I admired Christian's silver tuxedo and black lapels. It had a noticeable sheen, and while he could have easily